Oh, this is amazing. I think we're live.
All right, guys, we're back on.
We're back on. Sorry for this. We had some very nice issues, right? With everybody knows what that is. Can you guys hear us correctly now?
Yeah, tell us if you can hear us, and we can get.
If there's somebody left, actually, because perhaps there's nobody left.
Maybe there's just us talking. That's it.
We're just maybe it's just us talking
about SimScale and our life at SimScale.
And we can talk about everything we want.
Okay.
Where is the people? No people. Yeah, I think it's just us, buddy.
Nice. Second person just joined in.
Okay, people are coming back. 3 people. Okay. So it seems to work. I think we're live.
Yeah.
So perhaps we should start again. Sorry, everybody, for the issues. Now it seems all solved. So.
All right, number 8, Ask SimScale session.
Exactly.
Let's start over again.
Exactly. So yeah, I can start. My name is Guillermo. I work in the sales department. I'm from Spain, and I started in SimScale around I would say 1 year ago. So yeah, I'm responsible mainly for our Spanish-speaking customers and also the French-speaking ones, and some countries, and for example north of Europe, and also some other countries in APAC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm engineer, but early on in my career I moved to more sales-oriented endeavors.
So you're the first salesperson here in the Ask SimScale session, as far as I know.
True.
Okay.
I think I'm the first one. Yeah.
So guys, you probably have seen me before. My name is Arnaud. I'm a marketing specialist here at SimScale, and mainly what I do is assisting the marketing team to publish technical content. So just to showcase the value of SimScale and trying to show you the different aspect of CFD, what kind of problem it can solve, and FE as well, and trying to show you different examples, trying to explain what CFD is and what it can bring to industry, to the different industry, how it can help design better products. So it's going to be interesting to talk with Guillermo today, because it's the first time, as I said, we have someone from sales, so we're going to explain how you talk with customers, how you talk with people, and how they can help building SimScale, how they can help building different features, and how it works.
Okay, so if I would have to summarize it in more words, sales is about trust, right? So we need to be able to first understand what the customer really wants. It's not always exactly what he says or she says, but it's what he really wants. So there's a lot of understanding there. So you need to understand the type of industry they're in, the role they have, and so on, to try to put yourself in their position, right, and really be able to address their concerns, right. That would be my job, all right, as sales representative. And also a big part of how we speak to customers is how we gather also their feedback when our product doesn't fit exactly to what they need, and how we gather all this information to send back to product to improve it for the future needs that may come in. I don't know if this answers what
you do basically is also collecting some requests, collecting all like the product enhancement that we could go, and basically this kind of data that you're also collecting from opportunities and from customers kind of drive or like steer the boat of SimScale towards what the industry wants.
Absolutely. So this is kind of a consequence of the discussions we have. Of course, the main objective is to be able to meet the customer's expectations. But in the case where we do not, and it happens, of course, SimScale is still under a lot of development. There, yes, we have this entire system to follow up on the customer requests. We have a question. So, hey, Davey. So it says, hi, I'm an university teacher and researcher from Brazil. Congratulations for your work. I want to support your project. How you can do this? So if you want to support SimScale, there are several ways. If you are a university teacher, we have this academic program. So it's derived from sales, so I'm not responsible for it. But academic program basically aims at providing SimScale to our academic users. So this is for very low price, and most of them it's for free.
Yep.
And this would support us because the more students know SimScale, these students will become engineers or scientists one day, and these guys can bring SimScale to their company. So this is a key part of our long-term strategy. So that would be one way, and other ways is our power user program. But right now, I think it's not open for new users anymore.
So we have a forum on which you can interact with other users and help them. So that's very collaborative. So this is what we're trying to showcase as well, is that through our public library of project, through the forums, people can ask themselves questions and anyone can participate. What you can also do with the public project is simply copy the one that is closest to your project and use it as some sort of template. So there are many ways you can contribute to the project. You can contribute to SimScale in different ways.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I hope this answers your question. Of course, there is also the open positions that we have right now. If this is something that could be interesting for you. I know we try, particularly in these times, it's a bit difficult to travel and so on, but to still we are looking for mainly people in Europe, so in the same time frame as we have here in Munich. But there may be also some open positions in the US, and these guys, of course, have another time frame. Exactly.
We do have a number of open positions for engineering team lead, for example, or a CAD or mesh developer or backend architect. So feel free to apply. You can also give an unsolicited kind of application as well. So we all we're considering applicants. There are roles that are, as Guillermo said, are based in Munich. Some of are in the other office in Boston or New York, and quite a large portion of our workforce is also remote. So depending on the role, there's a possibility of having these jobs done remotely.
Yes. Quick question from Aritra, who asks if there is a SimScale internship program. So, of course, as in any company, we do have some interns. Yep. So right now we are filled in. Most of our interns started the application engineering department. So application engineering is more about supporting sales or customer support. In technical activities, so supporting us in demoing projects for our customers, or also supporting customers who have questions and so on. Definitely. Of course, before this COVID situation, we had many positions open. Now it's we are getting a little bit more selective on that aspect, but if things come back to normal, there will be many positions.
I mean, we have now at the moment also interns in engineering, interns in front end. I think there was also this kind of internship. So not specifically CFD application or FE application related, but also engineering. And if you have experience in CFD in OpenFOAM more specifically, or any kind of CFD code, you feel free to apply as well.
So we have Megan, who also asks, what does a typical day look like for you, Guillermo? So I believe she's speaking to me. So my days are quite busy. So lately, there are many ways our customers can reach out to us. So it can be either requesting information on our website. So then it's my job to call them and to understand what they may be looking for, if we can help. There is also the activities that we do where we do call companies that we think will benefit from SimScale on what we can bring. So the idea, yes, is to finding out the people that could be interested. So there's a lot of research also on what our potential customers could do. This morning I answered to a call for tender from a large company. A lots of meetings, lots of talking, many coffees, a lot of water to drink. It gets very thirsty when you speak all day.
You spend like a lot of time on the phone actually.
My job is to talk, right?
Yeah. So one aspect of your job specifically for sales and for application engineers as well is that it's extremely varied. So not only you'll speak to really small companies of like maybe 1 or 2 people, and then you speak to companies like huge corporations, and also on different branches of industry. So at 8 o'clock you have a call with someone doing valves, but at 9 o'clock you have somebody else doing HVAC, for example.
Yes.
So yes.
True. In the morning, for example, I would be calling mainly APAC, so Asia Pacific. So it could be our Korean customers and so on. And then in the afternoon, it's the morning for South America, who speaks Spanish, and I'm also responsible for. So yeah, it's very long, very much to do. And in my case, I speak 4 languages, and I think I speak the 4 of them every day.
So what do you like most doing in your day? What's the aspect of your job that you like the most?
I think that what SimScale offers us as being a small company and having this growth, right, that is ongoing, is about participating very actively in this growth, right? And as we are growing, our needs change and our processes change and so on. So there's a lot to do on that aspect, right? The idea is to say, okay, we are targeting there. How do we get there, right? So that's what I like most. I used to work in a very large company before joining here, and in large companies, everything is done, right? So the process is there, just execute. Here, there's a lot. There's a lot to figure out.
I think we're surrounded here in SimScale with a bunch of extremely talented and smart people that makes the development of the product very dynamic, very, very fast. And it's incredible the amount of new features you will see on the platform every month or even every week. You'll see something new coming up that will make the product easier, will make the product more accessible as well. And we're trying to really reduce the amount of errors that you have when you want to simulate something. So we're really targeting towards this as well. What else do we have?
We have Thomas, who asks, what type of application is your favorite to talk to customers about? Well, up to you, man. What do you like most?
So at the moment, we are quite strong in terms of pedestrian wind comfort.
Yes.
And this is basically what I call the flagship product of SimScale, because we're using a very robust solver that can very quickly and very efficiently solve people's issues in terms of wind comfort in cities, for example.
Exactly. So perhaps I can explain real quick, right, for people what wind comfort is. So in every city, when you build, when you change the landscape, you build a new building, or you instead you remove it and you put some streets instead, you will affect the local wind, and we also call that the microclimate. So the pedestrian wind comfort, as the product that we have developed, is a very robust way for either architects or engineering companies to start evaluating wind aspects of their projects very early during the process, because typically this is something that is not done because CFD. So using CFD for that has been traditionally rather complex. But the thing is that these kind of applications are relatively similar to one another. So these kind of simulations can be relatively well automatized, and we have figured out a workflow, right? So you can import even early on models, either from SketchUp, from Rhino, and so on. And you can evaluate wind aspects really, really fast. And there are countries where this is mandatory. And but more and more, our customers, when they see the ease of use and so on, even the countries where this is not a mandatory study, they are starting to for the comfort of
because what is important to mention here is that it complements wind tunnel testing, for example.
Exactly.
It will not replace it completely, at least in the next 5 to 10 years. But,
correct. Yeah.
But it really helped reducing the cost of prototyping and actual testing, right?
Yes, exactly. We have a question. So, do you guys have your own wind tunnel? No, we don't. We don't have our own wind tunnel, so we rely a lot on experimental data performed either by institutions or even our customers, right? A lot of our customers ask for some initial validation activities. Of course, we have the validation data, but from time to time, it may make sense to do some detailed stuff. The answer from our person in the background, yes, we do have a virtual wind tunnel, but not an atmospheric bandolier wind tunnel. No.
So check out, yes, we have a number of validation cases, not only for LBM, which
we have
the code is actually called PACEFISH, but we have validation studies for PACEFISH, as I said, LBM, but also for OpenFOAM and for FE as well. So don't hesitate to check it out on our website as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, that's a really good one to demonstrate. We have a nice few features that really helps making the study more relevant. So for example, we can include the topography inside the model, and we can also include the effect of trees. On this, we've done a webinar explaining how trees can impact the wind development in cities, for example.
Yes. So just a follow-up question here from PS. I mean, you can create your own Formula One construction system. That's why I asked. Okay, I'm a bit confused. So several things, right? SimScale supports Formula One students, right? In different universities, like as a sponsor, like we provide you CFD capabilities. The wind solution we have is based on a third-party solver that is provided by Numeric Systems GmbH, the company, and the solver is called PACEFISH. This is a commercial solver, and it's not free to use. And of course, we cannot provide it to free users, unfortunately. We would love to do so, but yeah, we just can't, right? So we do not give capabilities for wind simulation to free users, if that's what you're implying.
You're talking about LBM right now.
Yes. The wind, external wind and lattice Boltzmann-based solver. What we are we are finalizing the development that is necessary for car modeling. So in particularly, some rotating, so in order to account for the wheels rotating and so on.
Exactly.
And, this is done. We're finalizing the.
So there's studies we've done, and it's also as robust as for pedestrian wind comfort studies, and is essentially a virtual wind tunnel as well. And as Guillermo said, we account for the rotation of the wheels and the moving floors and all these things. So that's very promising. It's also giving you transient effect. So over time there will be vortex shedding and creation of turbulences at the back of the vehicle. So you will see all these effects, and it's
exactly correctly. This applies really well to construction. To the construction business, because it's relatively simple in terms of CAD, I would say. However, there are a lot of complex effects happening. The turbulence is very high with in cities due to the low speed and the complex shapes. But this solver is very good for that. So unfortunately, in order to answer your question, the wind capabilities are not available for if you want to start your Formula One construction team as a student. But of course, as a customer, there's a lot to be discussed, obviously. Which skills are necessary to work as a CFD engineer at SimScale? Well, that's a good question.
Very good question. I mean, of course, you need to have the technical skills, so understanding the main principles of CFD analysis, so turbulence modeling, but also boundary conditions and post-processing results and things like this. So also understanding how that model works, and you need to really have a general understanding of this. And that's really for the hard skill. In terms of soft skills,
yes.
what I would say will be really high attention to detail. So really making sure that what we're providing our client is top-notch quality. So when we are presenting top-notch visuals and presentations, so being attentive to this, have a very, very high level of communication. But this, I think, we are really good at here at SimScale, is communicating between us.
Yes,
as well.
and all our, like 80% of our staff is in contact with customers.
Yeah.
Like at least once a week.
Mm-hmm.
You can take off some of the developing staff, and I will need to plug this in soon. Can you grab that? So of course CFD, open form, and so on. So this is gonna be really mandatory stuff. But in addition, right, this will to be speaking with customers, understand their needs, and also to like learn from the different industries we work on, right? So because everybody, with CFD skills, you can do a CFD study, right? But do you answer the problem of the customer, right? And the customer always does a CFD study in order to answer a particular design question, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
And in order to understand and answer that question, you need to understand what the customer does, right? So if you are doing a heat exchanger, right? You need to understand what a heat exchanger does, and what will be the key design parameters, right? Mm-hmm. So this is also a key step, right? Because most of our young engineers, they know CFD, but they know nothing about the application
in the design process.
Exactly. So there is a lot to learn. Like you can work in electronics, in lighting systems. You can be working on heat exchangers. You can be working on structural analysis and so on. And every time, there's going to be different requirements from the customer. So there's going to be these three things, right? CFD and solving knowledge, right? Of course, and post-processing and so on.
Presentation as well,
communication capabilities, and also the will like to learn about how are the customers think, right? And the different design processes.
You really need to have the phrase of really being enthusiastic about the product. Like really, for me, like one of the biggest reward is when we see a customer being successful. This is the overall game that you're trying to. Of course, we're trying to sell this product, but the overall goal is not just selling; it's just making people use it, happy with it, and they can use it themselves, and that solves their problem in their own design process. That's the ultimate goal, actually. Yes. So when we see that this happens, when we have feedback from customers, and we know that they tell us, okay, this really solved my problem. This saves me time. This saves me money.
Exactly.
This saves me prototyping, and the results are accurate. I'm happy with the result, and I can make a better product. This is the biggest reward that we can have.
Exactly. Simulation is a mean; it's not an end, and that's very, very important to have in mind. To answer the question from PS, who is getting more and more technical, that's cool. Can we do fluid structure interaction? No, we can't. We don't have this capability yet, but this is definitely something that we're looking into. And the thing is that not a lot of customers need it. So right now, we will develop this slowly as the market develops.
This is a product suggestion that we already have recorded. So it's in the backlog, and we're just collecting all this data. And with the amount of requests we get for each type of feature, they're actually weighted, and we can prioritize them according to the amount of requests we have, basically.
Question from Davi: version for Android will be developed? I don't think so. We're not very much looking towards this.
No.
We don't see a huge use case for simulation without a mouse and a keyboard. Yeah. So until now, this has not been something we we want to focus a lot on. If the need evolves, of course, we will be there. We are actually in a very good position to develop this kind of things, since we are browse-based. So we will, if necessary. What are your comments on using AI in CFD? Does SimScale see it as a future field where you can work on? The answer is yes. It's a very, very good question. We are getting many requests from customers on that aspect. So there are many ways, right, to apply AI to CFD. One of the most obvious ones, an impressive one, is use prediction algorithms, right, so that we train them with a lot of CFD data that we can provide, since we have this huge database and these huge computational capabilities. So we have a lot of data to train algorithms, right? And then use these algorithms to predict data like much faster than a traditional finite element method. So this applies really well when you want to explore a very complex design space, where you want to test, I don't know, 1,000 models, right? So first you will train an AI system to test and select the best ones, and then out of them, you perhaps the 1% that are the best, then you can simulate. So this is what we are thinking about, right?
That is that's a very relevant question, and actually you may have seen on the platform recently that we've implemented the simulation time. So before you start a run, we're now able to tell you the actual runtime of the simulation and the amount of core hours you're going to use for this specific run.
Yes.
Of course, there's a range, so it's not very accurate. But as Guillermo explained before, we collect a lot of different run data.
Yes.
And then we can, with like AI or a machine learning kind of algorithm, we can predict this kind of
Exactly. So this is a very modest application of AI, what we're doing right now, but it's really efficient. This is amazing, right?
Yeah.
And we are also exploring the capabilities of our large database of what can offer can offer us. So a lot of exciting stuff to come on that aspect, but we're just starting there.
Yeah. There's a huge amount of things to be done. Also, we have a number of projects also we're working on where we expand these capabilities, having more customable features as well, and are going to come out very soon as well.
Exactly. So excellent question. Yes, Mantan. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Aritra asks, does SimScale perform drive simulation of vehicles? So are you meaning, if I understand you are meaning that we can do operation simulation, like steering simulation of cars and so on? So these are not the kind of models we have. However, of course, we can do aerodynamic studies at vehicle level, but also at system level, of course, on design optimization.
Aerodynamics, we have a nice studies that came out, I think John published, on two formula, one of three formulas following each other. So you can actually record and observe the different drag forces on the vehicle, and also understand what slipstream or dirty air is with this kind of simulation, with this kind of CFD transient simulation. So
Exactly. So the answer is, I'm not sure about your question, but we can do a lot of stuff. All right. Alex Murillo, hello guys, great to get in touch. Just to let you know, participant different CFD session, something awesome. I enjoy. Oh, thanks, Alex. That's great to.
That's great feedback.
Yeah, great feedback. Thanks a lot. Yeah, we do this kind of stuff, so either for customers or. I like to know if there is a possibility in the near future to work at SimScale or anywhere to help working from here in South America. Greetings, Alex. Sure. So as we mentioned before, right? So before the COVID crisis, we had many positions open. So now we had to restructure a little bit. But when you look at our targets, right, of growth and the trust the investors have put on us, we need to grow, right? And for that, we'll need to recruit people, and we'll need to recruit people in several areas of the world to also cover the needs of our customers that are everywhere, right? So yes, definitely there will be some positions. Like right now, it's a bit unclear, right? Some crazy times everywhere in the world, but definitely encourage you to check our our what do you call it, our open positions page, where you can see what do we have right now as open positions.
As I said, we have an engineering team lead that will be Munich based, also a CAD mesh developer, and a backend architect. I believe backend architect could potentially be remote. I'm not so sure about the CAD mesh developer, but depending on the role, depending on the department you're in, you could be you could ask for being remote. So
exactly. For the CAD or meshing development, it is definitely for Munich. I know that, and the team lead also, because there's a lot of management to do, and even though it's easier and easier to work remotely, and at SimScale we're rather good at that, management still requires some physical presence to make things easier. That's what we have right now. So it's a little bit over half an hour. We're 13 people. This is amazing.
Yes,
it's going
guys,
up.
If
we stay 5 hours, we're gonna have 200 people.
I mean, we can talk a lot about different aspects of SimScale. So whether is it about our job, about SimScale in general as a company, about SimScale, what SimScale can do in terms of capabilities, about a certain application of CFD, a certain aspect of CFD, so CAD or meshing, post-processing, all these aspects. So we kind of evolve in a multidisciplinary environment, so the crossover between engineering and programming somehow, and also in all these industries. So in here at SimScale, we have engineers, so engineers like me from a mechanical engineering background, but we also have a front-end developer, back-end developer who are more specialized in designing web interface and things like this. So wide range of skills and also wide range of applications. So and obviously sales, HR,
course, right?
marketing. Constantly growing.
Yes,
I think we're about over 80 people now.
We're over 80 people. Yes, when I started, we were 60, something like that. So in 1 year, plus 20 people, it's pretty good.
It's great to see the amount of people who joined in, and also for us to check the amount of users in the community. For example, the amount of users who signed up every single month or every single week. We know that you guys are more and more connected to the platform, creating, I think there's more than 300,000 public projects right now, which is crazy. That's the amount of simulation you guys can do. Don't forget that if you sign up with community account, you have 3,000 core hours available. Obviously, you don't have access to LBM and more advanced feature, but you can already start simulating, and obviously can ask for help through the online chat, because we're completely cloud-based. There's no need to create a ticket and send an email. You just say, okay, I have a problem. We know that you can share the project with us, and we can assist you right away.
Exactly. Thanks, Matan, for the feedback. Take care. A question: do you have an office in India, or are you planning to open one? So the answer is no, we don't have an office in India yet. It is not part of the immediate plans to open. There's not a lot of plans right now to open anything, right? With this COVID stuff. I'm also not very knowledgeable about these things, but I think that definitely right now we're going to stay with the offices we have. It's Munich, Boston, and New York. This will change soon also, right? Once things get a little bit back on track.
I think the best way you can contribute to SimScale, if you're a student, is really try different projects, try different type of simulation, and share it with us, and share it with the forum. Okay, I have this kind of result. I don't understand it, or I have really good result, and this matches what my analytical results are, for example. So don't hesitate to share this kind of things with us. We're really happy to see and to hear from you, from your success, or also to hear if you have any comment or any things you don't find right in the interface, you don't find right in the simulation setup, for example. So let us know.
Yep. So
we're like 35 minutes in. That's really good.
Minutes in. Not so many questions anymore. I think I've been missing on Thomas's question. Sorry, Thomas. Thanks for the feedback on the webinars. I know how helpful they are, right? I use the webinars also a lot when I joined SimScale, to get up to speed, right? Particularly in CFD, because I'm more of an FEA guy initially, and now I think I know more about CFD than FEA. And you also mentioned something about the product, right? That we prefer talking about. I think we answered that. It's the lattice Boltzmann solver, so based products like, for example, pedestrian wing comfort or incompressible analysis. External aerodynamics. That's
send out your request for if you want to have a specific webinar being done by us. We're planning a few in the next quarter. Also, in terms of what you want to see in the blog post or what you want us to explain to you, basically. So yeah,
exactly. Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Alice, for the feedback. Good luck to you, man. Looking forward to have your CV.
Yeah, I mean, I think PS is also mentioning the wiki. So recently, we have massively improved the documentation pages and the knowledge-based article. So knowledge-based articles are basically individual topics. So, for example, a rotating zone. If you want to simulate a pump, you need to use rotating zone. And if you don't know what it is, you can directly check on the knowledge-based article, and you have an explanation, and you also have an example of a project using this specific feature. So now there is a bunch of different knowledge-based articles, a bunch of different tutorials, and we are all in the process of updating them and making them more relevant and adequate to the new features we're adding. So please check them, and there'll be plenty more to come as well.
Yeah, this is amazing. I've seen, so in the past we didn't put so much stress on improving documentation, but since for a while, right? Since we hired Paras and Teresa, and
2 or 3 months already.
2 or 3 months, and quality has been going up like crazy. And this is amazing, right? Because we see now people who test the tool just using documentation, so less questions asked from customers. They can find stuff on their own easier. So I think it's a very important step.
If you don't know how to prepare your geometry, if you have problems with meshing, everything will be found there. So don't hesitate.
Exactly. So that's great. So if you guys have any questions left, it would be happy to answer you guys. I will have a meeting at 5:30, unfortunately. So I will have to go at that time, but I'd be happy to stay 5 more minutes with you guys. If there's anything else.
So just a few words about Munich itself.
Munich is amazing.
About how we are located in Munich. So you can tell us about it, maybe.
Yeah, sure. So I've discovered Munich when I started here, right? One year ago. I think we started about the same time, right? Munich is so cool, particularly now that the weather is getting a little bit better. The weather is a bit complicated, right, in winter, but in summer here it's great. I really love the city, and it's so clean, it's so green, it's so everything's in order. And nothing's dangerous, right? You can leave your bike anywhere, it won't get stolen. It's amazing, and the beer and everything.
So the headquarters here in Munich are very well located. We're actually a few blocks away from where the Oktoberfest takes place. So it's very central and very conveniently located. We have a massive kitchen. We have a massive sitting area as well. A couple of dogs, a couple of office dogs at the moment, which is really nice.
Yes,
and,
true.
Really nice atmosphere here.
True. So we're told to speak some French, but why? I don't think we have any French speakers. It's just to show off. We can't do that, right?
So of course, Guillermo especially can support you both in Spanish and in French, and obviously you see in English. So
So question regarding the importance of German. So for the most of our positions, it's not an issue not to speak German. Of course, we need German speakers, right? But we are very open to. For example, I don't speak very good German.
It's not a requirement. So,
it's not a huge requirement. It should be okay. So a question about conducting more webinars. That's for you, buddy. On building aerodynamics and how calculate pressure coefficients if possible. Man, this is a very good question because a lot of customers are looking for that also.
Yeah,
pressure coefficients on facades.
These days.
We did one relatively recently, right? From the UK guys.
Darren and
Nachman did one. It's I don't know, 2 months or 3 months old.
Yeah,
the one's pretty good, but perhaps go a little bit more in detail.
There will be more. There will be more on that. I think we're developing the pressure coefficient and the pressure on facets and things like this quite heavily these days. So yeah.
Yep. So we have present academic session of CAE on SimScale is not compatible when performing exercise. Okay. Maybe some of our training content is in the old interface. Could it be?
It could be, but as we said, we're planning on updating all this content for the academic plan.
But there's a lot that should be updated already. So perhaps something slipped, or you are accessing the old page. I don't know.
Please send the link in the chat, and we can have a look at it. The link on the page you're in when you are facing this compatibility issue, and we can have a look at it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. We'll transmit that to the team. It should be shouldn't be intended, I would say.
So
alrighty. Sorry, guys. Unfortunately, I will have to go. Aritra, it's guidelines in old interface. Yeah, it could be.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be some.
But point it. In the chat. And
point it out.
If
you point it out, we will look into this. Sorry, I will have to leave you guys. Hope we answered most of our questions. Take care of yourselves, right? So see you soon, hopefully in another SimScale or in the interviews.
Yeah. All right, guys. Take care.
Take care, everybody. We'll have to go. Cheers.